The desert highway stretched before me, an endless black ribbon under the oppressive glare of the setting sun. Heat shimmered off the asphalt, distorting the already alien landscape into something resembling a Dali painting. I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white, and tried to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. My name is Leo, and I was on a fool's errand. A delivery for my uncle, a collector of obscure antiquities. This artifact, as he called it, was supposedly recovered from an archaeological dig in the middle of nowhere, Arizona. Of course, he couldn't go himself, citing a bad back and an even worse allergy to sand. So here I was, a fresh-faced college student, entrusted with a potentially priceless and possibly cursed object. Lovely. The box sat on the passenger seat, securely strapped in. It was surprisingly heavy, constructed from dark, unfamiliar wood, and etched with symbols that looked vaguely Sumerian. I tried to peek inside, of course, but the lid was sealed tight. My uncle had been adamant. Do not, under any circumstances, open that box, Leo. Not even a crack. Understand? His voice had been uncharacteristically grave, which only fueled my morbid curiosity. I checked the rearview mirror, the setting sun practically blinding me. Empty. Just the endless highway behind. I was hours from the nearest town, cell service had died miles ago, and the radio was spitting static. Perfect. Isolated. Just the way horror movies like it. As darkness began to creep across the desert, painting the mesas in hues of indigo and black, an unsettling silence descended. The usual hum of the tires against the asphalt seemed to fade, replaced by a low, rhythmic thrumming that vibrated through the car. I initially dismissed it as road noise, but it grew louder, more insistent, until it felt like a physical presence in the car with me. I glanced at the box. Could it be coming from there? Ridiculous. It was just the nerves getting to me. I cranked up the radio, hoping to drown out the noise, but the static only intensified, morphing into a cacophony of distorted whispers. I quickly switched it off, the silence that followed even more oppressive than before. Then I saw them. Headlights in the distance, growing larger with alarming speed. Relief washed over me. Finally, another human being. I flashed my headlights in greeting, expecting a similar acknowledgement. Instead, the approaching vehicle, a massive, black semi-truck, didn't respond. It just kept coming, closing the distance between us with unnerving precision. The truck was a monster. Its grille was blackened and scarred, the chrome long since peeled away, revealing rust and decay. No license plate. The driver's cab was shrouded in shadow, impossible to see inside. As it drew closer, the rhythmic thrumming intensified, originating now from the truck's engine. It felt like a pulse, a heartbeat of something ancient and malevolent. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't right. The truck was almost upon me. I swerved violently to the right, tires screeching on the asphalt, barely avoiding a head-on collision. The semi roared past, a wall of black metal that seemed to suck the air from my lungs. My car shuddered in its wake, nearly sending me spinning off the road. I wrestled with the steering wheel, finally regaining control. My heart hammered against my ribs, sweat slicked my palms. I glanced in the rearview mirror. The truck had slowed, and was now pulling a wide U-turn in the middle of the highway. It was coming back. Panic seized me. There was nowhere to go. No escape. I floored the accelerator, the engine screaming in protest. My little sedan wasn't built for speed, but I pushed it to its limit, desperate to put as much distance as possible between me and that thing. The truck gained on me. I could see its headlights in my rearview mirror, unwavering, relentless. The thrumming grew louder, resonating deep within my bones. I felt a pressure building in my head, a throbbing pain that threatened to overwhelm me. I tried to rationalize. This was just some crazy trucker, a road rager with a death wish. But I knew, deep down, that it was more than that. There was something unnatural about the truck, about the way it moved, about the sheer, unadulterated malice that seemed to emanate from it. Ahead, I saw a sign, abandoned gas station, 5 miles. Hope surged through me. Maybe, just maybe, I could find some shelter there, some way to hide. I gripped the steering wheel tighter and focused on the road, willing my car to go faster. The truck was right behind me now, its headlights blinding. I could almost feel its presence, a dark, looming shadow that threatened to swallow me whole. The gas station appeared on the horizon, a skeletal relic of a bygone era. Its faded sign creaked in the wind, the pumps rusted and overgrown with weeds. The building itself looked derelict, windows boarded up, its paint peeling like sunburnt skin. I swerved into the parking lot, the tires kicking up gravel. I slammed on the brakes, the car skidding to a halt in front of the boarded-up building. Behind me, the truck also stopped, its headlights illuminating the scene like a spotlight in a macabre play. I scrambled out of the car, grabbing the heavy box from the passenger seat. My muscles screamed in protest, but I ignored the pain, driven by pure adrenaline. I ran towards the boarded-up entrance, desperately searching for a way inside. The boards were thick and securely nailed in place. I pounded on them with my fists, shouting for help, but my voice was swallowed by the vastness of the desert. I was alone. The truck's door creaked open, a long, drawn-out sound that echoed in the silence. A figure emerged, silhouetted against the harsh glare of the headlights. It was tall and gaunt, its features obscured by the shadows. It moved with a slow, deliberate gait, like a predator stalking its prey. Fear paralyzed me. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. I just stood there, clutching the box, waiting for the inevitable. The figure stopped a few feet away, its face still hidden in shadow. It raised a hand, and I flinched, expecting a blow. But instead, it pointed towards the box. A voice, raspy and guttural, emanated from the figure. It was a voice that seemed to scrape against my very soul. "Release it." I didn't understand. "Release what? The artifact?" I stammered, my voice trembling. The figure nodded slowly. "It hungers." Hungers? What was this? Some kind of twisted joke? I was about to tell him where he could stick his hunger when a fresh wave of throbbing pain exploded in my head. It was stronger now, more intense, and it felt like something was trying to force its way out of my skull. I dropped to my knees, the box falling to the ground with a thud. The pain was unbearable. I clutched my head, screaming in agony. And then I heard it. A scraping sound coming from inside the box. A slow, deliberate scraping, like something was trying to claw its way out. The realization hit me like a physical blow. The pain, it wasn't coming from me. It was coming from the box, from whatever was inside. The figure loomed over me, its shadow engulfing me. "Release it," it repeated, its voice laced with impatience. I knew what I had to do. I had to open the box. I had to release whatever was inside, even if it meant unleashing unimaginable horror upon the world. With trembling hands, I reached for the lid of the box. The wood felt cold and clammy against my skin. I hesitated for a moment, my mind reeling with fear and dread. But the pain was too much to bear. I lifted the lid. The darkness inside the box seemed to deepen, to solidify. It wasn't just an absence of light. It was an active, malevolent force that reached out and enveloped me. Then something emerged. It wasn't a monster, not in the conventional sense. It wasn't a creature with claws and teeth and scales. It was something far more terrifying. It was a presence, a feeling, an overwhelming sense of dread and despair that seemed to seep into my very being. It was the embodiment of loneliness, of isolation, of the crushing weight of existence in a vast, indifferent universe. As soon as the box was opened, the figure started trembling and screaming, holding its head, before it exploded into black ash, leaving only its clothes on the floor. I didn't see exactly what came out of the box, but I felt it. Felt like the thing was looking around, looking for the next victim. The world around me began to distort and twist. The gas station dissolved into a swirling vortex of darkness. The truck vanished. The highway disappeared. There was nothing left but me, the box, and the overwhelming sense of dread. I was trapped in a nightmare, a living hell of my own creation. And then, I realized something even more terrifying. The thing in the box, it wasn't just a presence. It was growing, expanding, filling the void with its suffocating despair. I screamed, but my voice was lost in the darkness. I was alone, utterly, irrevocably alone. The highway was gone. The world was gone. Only the box remained, humming gently in the infinite darkness. And inside, something hungry was waiting. I'm still here, or what's left of me. Trapped. I don't know how long it's been. Time has lost all meaning. I can still feel it, the presence, the monstrous loneliness that permeates everything. It feeds on my fear, my despair, growing stronger with each passing moment. I don't know if anyone will ever find this. Maybe someone will stumble upon this account, read my story, and understand the horror that lurks in the heart of the desert. If you do, heed my warning. Stay away from the highways. Stay away from the desert. Stay away from anything that promises knowledge or power, or anything that comes from the forgotten places. Because sometimes the things that are best left buried are the things that are most eager to be found. And once they are found, there is no escape.